Hey, what's up guys, it's the low-end PC gamer here, or some of you may know me as my XDA name profile, the Wizard of ROMs, and today I'm bringing you a tutorial of how to fix error in recovery status 6 and status 7. These are pretty common errors that occur in the recovery while you're trying to flash a custom ROM for your device, or if you're a developer when you ported a ROM that is not meant for your device but you ported it for your device, and when you flash it, it has that error, and basically the recovery freaks out and aborts the installation and you're screwed. So that's why I'm here. I'm gonna be showing you how to fix these two errors. They're pretty simple to fix actually. You don't need to have any knowledge of programming. In fact, you don't even need Linux. You just need an operating system that supports Notepad++. I'll give you a link in the description for the software. So anyways, that's all for me, and let's get started. So this is a ROM meant for the Nexus 7. Let's say hypothetically that I have successfully ported this ROM to work on my device, which is the HTC Flyer, but when I flash it, it gives me these two errors. So how do I fix them? Well, first of all, let's start with the easiest one, which is error in status 7. In fact, both of them are easy to fix, but status 7 is the easiest. And let's get started. So we go to this ROM, or whatever ROM that is meant for you. We're gonna close this. We go to metainf.com, Google, Android, and you got this file called updater script. So you extract this file on your desktop or whatever folder you prefer. And basically, if you guys don't know what this is the most important thing to the ROM. Without this, the recovery won't be able to install the ROM. So what is this? Well, if we edit it with Notepad++, I'm gonna show you here, and you can see that it's filled with commands. And basically, the first thing that the recovery does, after you click yes, I want to install this ROM, I want to install this zip, is it executes this file updater script, and it reads all of these commands that are in it. So basically it reads the commands, and these commands, all of them are telling the recovery to flash the ROM properly. And once it does all these operations, you can see the recovery is doing these operations. If it reads all of them successfully, the ROM will be successfully flashed. So let's say you're having the error in status 7, and how to fix this. Alright, so many developers, this is a programming language that is basically, all of this is written by developers. So what many developers do first is basically they check if the ROM is suitable for your device, if you're installing the ROM on a proper device. And the way it does that is it basically orders the recovery to check for the code name of your device, not the name but the code name. So if we're gonna take a look at this first command, it says assert get prop row.product device equals grouper, and this is basically the code name for the Nexus 7. So the simplest way to change this, actually no, first let's start. If I ported this ROM to my HTC Flyer, and basically the code name for my device is Flyer, not Grouper, and this is the first thing that this does is it orders him to, how do I say, it finds the device name, alright, from the beginning. So the first thing that this does is it locates the code name for your device, and it says that the code name for your device needs to be Grouper. If it's not Grouper, which in my case it isn't, the code name for the HTC Flyer is Flyer, the installation aborts. And as you can see, this is basically, if it's true, the installation will go on. If it's false, if it's not true, it's gonna say this package is for Grouper, while your device is that and that, and basically it will abort the installation. So the simplest way to fix this is to replace the code name this code name, or the code name may be different for your device. The code name may be different for every ROM, is to replace this code name with the code name from your actual device. For example, the code name for my device is Flyer. I'm just gonna type here Flyer, and I'm just gonna change it over here to Flyer. The code name for your device is simple to find. You just Google your device name, code name, and it will find it. But beware, the code name is not the same for every version. For example, the code name for the HTC Flyer in the American version might be, or in the international version might be different for the code name of the HTC Flyer in the European version, or the Asian, or the Australian. You got it? So change that code name and you'll be good to know. And this is basically how to fix error in recovery status 7. Okay, we fixed status 7. Now we need to fix status 6. Status 6 is more tricky to fix. It's not that complicated, but yet it's more tricky to fix than status 7. So I'm just gonna explain it a little bit before we get to fixing. So if you don't know, the way that every single ROM is flashed is that first it mounts the system, the data, and the kernel directories. It erases everything in them, and it extracts the system, the data, and the kernel to the directories, and basically that's how you have the first ROM. That's all of the basic things that every ROM must have. But the directories for the system, the data, kernel, cache, Dalvik cache, etc., are always different, which means the path, let's say for the system, is different in every device. It's in a different directory. So in many devices, mostly in newer devices, the path for the system is inside eMMC. If you don't know what eMMC is, it's basically the entire storage. The path for the system in eMMC is in dev block platform sdhci tegra.free by name app. So this path, if I ported this ROM to my HTC Flyer, this path does not exist, which means when this is a command that orders to format the system, it's basically not going to find the directory for the system, and the recovery will once again abort the installation. So the simplest way to fix this is to download a ROM zip file which you've already used on your device, which you can trust, which is flashed successfully, and open the updater script for that ROM. Just find this sort of line and see what the path for your system is, which in my case, the path for my system is again in dev block platform, but instead it's in a folder, or let's say a directory called, actually no, it's without a platform, it's in a directory called mmcblk0p25. And once this is corrected, it will find this path because it exists on your device, and it will basically do the right procedures. So you need to change it everywhere where it says the path for the system. I also need to change it in here, which I will, not in this video. But beware, the path for the system on your device, on the same device, may be different from the path of the data, from the path of the kernel, the path of the cache, etc., etc. So in some cases it's the same, in some cases it's different. Find it, and basically what you need to do is copy the path and paste it in the ported ROM, and status 6 won't show, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, that's how to fix status 6. These were status 6 and 7 were both minor problems of how to fix them. As you can see, it's not that very hard. So what I'm gonna do is just actually first let's minimize this. Sorry, oops, my recorder. I hope you can apologize me. Let's save this, and now we're just gonna open the ported ROM, go to metainf com Google Android and replace it with this. Okay, replace my edited script with the original, with the one that I extracted with. So as you can see, these were problems that weren't very hard to fix. If you follow these instructions correctly, you should be able to fix them. If you have any problems, if you notice, feel free to add them in the comments. I will try to help you. If this video helped you, please leave a like. It will really mean much to me. If you thought this thing was very helpful, then why don't you spread the word by sharing it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter. So my name has been the Low End PC Gamer, or some people know me as the Wizard of ROMs. I'll be seeing you with another tutorial, and remember to keep the peace.